Chernobyl, episode 3.
Episode 3. Oh my God.
Those guys that went in and the flashlights died on them, but they didn't really die. They were trying to like empty out a huge water pool so that then everything didn't explode and killed 60 million people.
Right.
They made it through.
They did it!
Got through.
Yay! And the flashlights, they came back on. They were like handheld. So don't worry, guys. Manual. Thank you. Yeah, they were working. So it's cool.
And then there was this firefighter that was a first responder, and his wife came to see him in Moscow, and she was like, I have to be with him.
Right. And she like snuck in, and the nurses let her sneak in. And so then she's in there and she's like touching him. They're like, don't touch him. Don't be anywhere near him. You can only be there for 30 minutes. And she was with him like all day, every day, touching him all up in his business.
Yeah. She was like, hey, okay, I'll listen to you, but not really, because she just loves him and wants to be with him. I mean, throughout the episode, he melted more and more and more, and then ended up really gross. Those makeup effects were mwah.
Good job. Oscar, hello.
Yeah,
No,
Oscar.
they don't do Oscars.
You're too far over there.
Okay, and then the doctors. So the doctors are there, like the guys who are what are the comrades or whatever, and they're having a conversation, and then the one who's like real cranky and he's like, let's go for a walk, and he goes for a walk, and he's like, they're listening, and we're like, who's listening? Who's the they that they're talking about? And spoiler alert, it was the KGB. Mm-hmm. They were talking about the KGB.
KGB was following them everywhere.
They were
the nuclear physicist, the lady nuclear physicist was like, dude, why did it explode though? I can't figure it out. All the mental math I do, I just can't figure it out. It won't explode.
What is going on? So she went to the hospital in Moscow, and she's like trying to get in and ask people questions, and she sees the woman who is the firefighter's wife all up in the biz, and she's
holding
like,
his radiated,
get
melting
out
hand.
Here. That's right. And then, as we find out at that point, the woman is talking to her husband who's melting. She's pregnant.
Yeah. She was right by a radiated man the whole time.
Yeah.
Even though the lady was like, are you pregnant? She's like, no.
No, I'm not pregnant.
Nice.
Girl.
So the nuclear physicist lady, she was trying to find out what happened. So she interviewed the two guys, and she was like, so it went from heat 200 to heat 400, and then you're supposed to hit the safety switch, AZ5 or something like that. Why didn't you push it? And they're like, we did. And that's exactly when it exploded, is when we pushed
When they
that
pushed
button.
it. Oh my God. It was radiating.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're almost out of time.
Okay.
They got coal miners to dig a hole. They came up with a plan.
Yeah.
Just because it's starting to melt down, so they came up with a plan. So they're getting coal miners, and
they went underground and they're digging, and they were like, it's really hot and we need a fan. And they're like, you can't have a fan, because if you have a fan, you're going to blow all the
dust.
What is it, uranium. It's all going to be everywhere. And they're like, okay, fine. So they go back to camp. Guess what? The guys are like, well, we're going to die, and you're not going to tell us that we're going to die, but we are, because we're doing this job. And they were buck naked because they were so hot. So they were working naked, and unfortunately,
we saw a lot of penises.
We saw a lot of penises.
A lot of penises.
It was a little shocking.
Yeah.
But
I stared.
we looked.
Anyway, are they going to make it?
I don't know. What's going to happen? Are they going to get the concrete in there? What's going on? We're glowing! Ah! Radiation.